You're just like choosing $100 over like an adult friendship, and those are hard to come by.
Oh my gosh!
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sandra.
And I'm V.
Today we're going to discuss stories that are sometimes heartwarming or heartbreaking. We hear a lot about couples' expectations being too high for their wedding. For example, you have to be available at the drop of a hat or help contribute a large amount of money towards a bachelor or bachelorette party. In this story, we're going to see if the bride is asking for too much or if OP is just selfish.
Ooh.
Ready for your first story?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
Today's first story. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to help pay for my friend's wedding? That's spicy already. I have a close friend from college who's getting married, and she's been asking for my help to contribute to her wedding. I think it's sweet that she's thinking of me, but I don't think it's a good idea for me to help out financially. My friend and I have been close for a few years now, and I'm happy for her. She is struggling financially, and they have asked that instead of wedding gifts, people can donate to parts of their wedding ceremony. There's a registry and everything, like table flowers and stuff. I know she's trying to save as much money as possible for certain reasons unrelated to the wedding, but I just don't think it's right for me to be helping her out with the cost at this time. I'm a recent doctorate candidate soon, am currently writing a memoir, and I don't know when I will have time to get a job. Anything I give is just that much less time I can live on my own. Even if I could afford it, I don't think it's fair that I should have to help out when I know her fiance already has a job and could definitely get another, and some of his friends seem well off. I tried to explain my financial situation to my friend, but she's still asking for help, even a little. She suggested that I could contribute a much smaller amount than others, but I still don't think it's a good idea. I told her that if I was in a better financial situation, I would be more than happy to help out, but right now it just isn't possible. My friend got really mad at me and said that I was selfish and that she expected more from me. Our group of friends all pledged to help pay for each other's weddings back in college, and she says that since she helped pay for my wedding, $550, that I should help her out. Or even if it's just $20. She is also threatening to tell her group of friends just because all of them contributed to my wedding. But she completely ignores the fact that my marriage didn't last even 1 year. I don't want to lose her friendship, and I really don't want her to tell our friends. My financial situation is private. More importantly, I also don't want to be taken advantage of. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to help pay for her wedding?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
There's an edit, but I want to hear your opinion so far.
Okay. Going through the story, I'm hearing, okay, friend wants OP to pay for wedding. I'm already like, that's kind of weird. That's not really normal. Don't really hear that too often.
Yeah.
So I was kind of leaning towards OP's side because, OP's struggling. They're going through a lot. And they really have no obligation to pay for the friend's wedding. But then OP slid that in at the very end of the post and said that the friend gave OP $550 for OP's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And that this was a pledge that they all agreed to in their group of friends to help each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's a little slimy. I'm sorry.
And, the friend that's getting married is saying even just $20 is fine. Tell me that, like, a friend helps pay for your wedding, $550, and you can't even help with $20. At this point, I don't even think it's the amount of money. I think it's just, like, the thought behind it.
Yeah.
Like, the intention. Like, you're really trying not to give a single penny, back to this pledge that you made with your friends.
So it's something that they agreed to. They got the benefits out of the agreement. But now, years later, I'm assuming, timing-wise, because, they got married, they got divorced, and now it's the friend's wedding. They're trying to...
And they're trying to get away with it, too.
Yeah.
They're saying, don't tell the group of friends that I'm not contributing. But, I mean, this is a group of friends that you pledged with. Like, everybody agreed on it, So if you're not going to, like, can you blame the bride for telling them, like, hey, this person's not pulling their end of the the pledge?
Because I'm wondering too, if they're, they don't want to support the friend's wedding here financially because of the pledge, and they don't want the friend to tell the other friends. Did they do the same thing with other friends, or have they done it with the other friends in the group?
Oh, I wonder.
Because I'm curious.
What if they told another friend, like, hey, I don't want to contribute, but don't tell anyone. And, the other friend really didn't tell anyone. That could be a possibility.
That makes me feel some sort of way. These people need to get better friends.
Okay, want to hear the edit?
Yeah.
Okay, so edit. So this is OP again, the one that doesn't want to contribute. Okay, after seeing all the reactions and misunderstandings here, I talked with a couple other friends in our group and showed them the post. They sent me some money, $100, to give our friend for her wedding. I'm going to offer $5 at first and see if that's enough.
Oh my gosh! This is, okay. You know those museums are like, pay what you can? Like, they have special days and events. And the agreement is you can go to them and they're not going to ask questions and you pay what you can. This is not a pay what you can museum. This is your friend's wedding.
Well, first of all, the other friends gave you $100 to give to the bride. And then you only want to offer $5 of it?
So would OP give that money back to the friend?
No, OP's going to pocket the $95.
That's just so shady.
Yeah, that is so shady. And like, the friend group is trying to help OP uphold the pledge, right?
Yeah.
And like, they made it as easy as it can be, But at this point, it's just stubbornness.
I feel like OP was talking about how, I don't want to be taken advantage of. If anything, I feel like OP's taking advantage of their friends here.
Yeah. All right. There's more. There's more.
Oh,
okay.
Gosh.
OP says, couple other points. My friend's fiance agreed to purchase my ticket to fly, so giving up that money and not going is not an option. My friend did also give me a wedding gift, which I returned. I do not have the money for a wedding gift, but I believe being there for her on her big day is a present itself. Everyone laughs when I say my presence is present enough, so I don't think it's as negative as others see it. I have not been accepted into a school yet. I am starting to apply for PhD programs. I'm writing a memoir as a tribute and gift back for my experiences, and doing it now to prepare to become a doctor. Wait, so
you're telling me that the OP's friend's fiance is paying for the trip and accommodations, it looks like, to the wedding. And OP's friends are paying for her to contribute to the wedding. And she's not only is she not going to give the full amount that she received, like the $100, she's planning on giving just $5 and no wedding gift. Because her presence is all that the bride and groom need.
I don't think that your presence pays for the seat. Okay, edit 2. There's more. To clarify, I understood the $100 is to be used for all friend weddings in our group, not just the one now. I am not just pocketing the money, I am saving it for when others get married, and that means I have to try to ration it out.
What?
For lack of a better word. Note there are only 3 people left in the group who are unmarried. My friend, one other person, and myself. Wait a minute. You have $100, but you want to only offer 5? And then how's that even rationing it out?
How's even math at that point?
Because 3 people. So it should at least be $33, right?
Is she...
Why
she or
5?
he planning on doing... Wait, is she? He?
They didn't say.
Okay. So are they planning on, I guess, $5, seeing if the bride will take it, keeping the $95, and then what are they going to do for the next 2 weddings? I'm a little bit concerned with this rationale.
The math did not math, because if that is what you're doing, it should at least be $33 if there's 3 people.
It's also very disingenuous because the friends gave you that specifically for this wedding.
Yeah, you know it was meant for this wedding. Who are you trying to kid? Right? I mean, you know it was meant for this one.
Would they explicitly have said, this wedding is to be used for everyone's future wedding? Like, no. I don't like the fact that OP is basically going into this.
It concerns me that OP is trying to become a doctor with this kind of logic.
even with this mindset, I'm a little bit concerned because I would
Yeah.
think, doctors, when you're helping people.
Imagine their bedside manners.
Just
Just like,
because
let's ration it out here.
I'm uncomfortable with the fact that they're okay with taking advantage of their friends in this way.
I feel that. Edit 3.
Every time I think it's like the worst of it, there's more.
A lot of people are asking about my memoir. I won't be sharing details here so as to not take it off topic. Anyone can DM me for more info though. I don't think that's our concern right now.
Yeah.
Edit 4. I offered the $5 and didn't hear back for a couple of days. So today I offered $20 as a gesture of goodwill. Without waiting to hear about the $5. She said no and even had the audacity to tell me I didn't need to come to her wedding at all. You don't. I offered $25, then $50, still nothing. She just seemed to get more upset even when I increased, all caps, the amount.
Yeah.
I don't know what she expects, literally more than double what she asked for, and it isn't enough? ?
It's the intentions.
Oh, goodness.
Like through your actions, OP. I think the bride can tell that OP is not really being genuine, is not really trying to, actually help.
It's
more about how can I get the better deal out of the situation?
I hate to say it's like it's the principle, right?
Yeah.
But it really is. I mean, it's just like, what is this friendship to you? It seems like the group of friends is close enough to give you $100 to contribute to this wedding, but you're just refusing to use it for that purpose. And you're trying to like logic it so that like, oh, I'm rationing out for the next few weddings. I don't know. It just feels so not what a friend should think like, or, just like automatically, if that's your automatic reaction, okay, I'm gonna start with 5 and then what is it, 20, 25, 50. But like still OP didn't even mention the original amount of 100.
Right.
Like OP doesn't even want to give the whole amount.
And it's not even OP's.
It's not even your money to lose. Right?
It's money that was given to you for a specific intention by your friends to give to your other friend's wedding.
And honestly, nowadays, $100 as a guest, it depending on the venue, but it might not even cover your meal.
Yeah.
And they're covering for your flight. I mean, good on the bride for telling OP to just not show up, because I think that's how I would feel. I mean, there's so many other things to be thinking about that this one friend, like, it's just causing so many unnecessary stresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is OP made a big deal about returning the wedding gift, but I mean, did they return the $550 then?
That's the actual gift.
Because I'm like, okay, you returned the wedding gift, but it seems like we can see the intentions of the bride that, you have the fiance paying for the accommodations, you have the friends chipping in to help support. It seems like the friend group was really trying to not exclude OP from the experience.
Exactly.
And yet OP is taking this as if it's I offered 5 and then I doubled it, and she's still mad. So I'm like, yeah.
OP's like, I don't know why she's mad, but she's mad. Oh my goodness. How do you write this and not know? Like as you're typing it, right?
You have to have some level of self-awareness of it, I would hope.
Okay. So comment.
Ooh, I'm ready for the spicy comments. Here we go.
Well, I'm glad I withheld my judgment until I got to the end. I'm going with you're the a-hole because you didn't slip in until the second to last paragraph that the reason why she's asking you is because she contributed over $500 to your wedding, and now that it's your turn to chip in, you don't want to give her a red cent. You said she was also asking for help with things like decorations. What have you offered to contribute for labor since you are unable to give a single cent because you are so busy being a not yet doctoral student and writing a memoir?
That sounds so sarcastic. Not yet doctorate.
Comment also replied. Okay, someone replied to that comment. Not to mention, it's not like OP's friend was just like, oh, here, have $500. They all made an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And someone else replied, that was a stupid promise they made, but OP also didn't reject when her friend gave her money at her wedding, whether it lasted or not.
That made me angry.
And then the comments just kind of go down that route. But, you know, I don't even think the friends are looking so much for money. I mean, like, yeah, it helps. But I think just to keep the friendship going, in a sense, like, especially as everyone becomes adults, your friends, not because you really need each other at that point. Like, as adults, you choose to be friends, so you choose how you treat each other. And when you're choosing not to give $100 that your other friends gave you, right? You're just like choosing $100 over like an adult friendship, and those are hard to come by. So I think the title is very misleading. I think.
No.
Well, what's your judgment? What do you think?
Oh, I felt that first commenter in my soul. I was trying to withhold judgment because the way it's phrased, you know, friend is making me pay for her wedding. Like, that's very misleading without the context. With the context, I'm immediately, OP is definitely in the wrong.
Yes.
It's just upsetting that they're choosing to go about this. And in a way, I can feel the heartbreak from the friend group because it seems like they really try to, include her despite, or he or she, whatever they, in this situation. And yet they're bickering over a few dollars. And let's be clear, like, it seems like they made this agreement years ago, right?
Right.
As an adult, I'm assuming they're an adult here because everyone's getting married and divorced. But you could have budgeted, you could have set aside an amount and said, proactively.
You knew this was happening.
It's not like this is a surprise expense that came out of nowhere. You knew this for years. And for them to be so caught off guard and then to continue and assume that $100 will be spread. So they're not even trying to contribute in the future weddings.
Yeah. My goodness. $5 though? $5?
$5. I mean, come on.
Like, bubble tea is like at least $7 now. Come on.
$8.
It's like,
it's expensive.
Yeah, and you add on the toppings, it's like 10. But
and they're writing a memoir. They're doing all these things. I mean, good for them, but come on. That's not an excuse.
Reddit's vote is AHO.
Okay, yes.
And I think we can agree with that.
Yes.
100%. I'm so mad.
Do people live like this? I can't.
I don't know how you type this out and everybody's telling you, like, no, this is not right. And then you're still like...
And you think you're in the right. That's the worst thing ever.
But I offered $50 and she still got mad at me. I don't know.
Yeah, because you started from $5 when homegirl gave you $550 and paid for your flights.
Oh my God. Five Below is not even Five Below anymore. Come on. Like, what can we do with $5?
That last story got me so heated. And speaking of intimate weddings, so we know how intimate weddings can be. It should, in theory, be all about the bride and groom. But it starts to sort of make you wonder how much influence family, friends, relatives, they all have a say on the wedding. Now, our next story is also from Reddit, and it asks you the question of, is it my wedding, my day, my way, or is it really about everyone else there?
This sounds juicy. I can't wait.
Okay, so this story is also from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for having a dry wedding and serving only water for drinks? I'm getting dry just thinking about this.
I know.
Throw it away only because I don't want this on my main. Okay, so basically, my husband and I are getting married later this year. Each of our sides of the family are fairly big. It will be around 100 to 150 people total. My husband and I are paying for this all ourselves, as well as my grandma, who said she doesn't care one way or the other on this issue. She just loves weddings. We have a lot of kids in our family, so we decided against making it child-free, but we did decide to make it dry. So there will be no alcohol of any kind at our wedding. Honestly, this doesn't have anything to do with there being kids there, due to the fact that my fiance and I don't drink. Nothing against people who do, it's just not for us and we don't want to. On top of that, we only really drink water. We rarely, if ever, drink soda, so most of the time it's only water with the occasional juice and milk. We don't even drink coffee. So obviously the food, which is a part my grandma is not paying for, is going to be expensive for that many people. We are having our wedding catered, So everyone will have a good choice of food to choose from, but to only drink water, as only water will be provided. We don't want to have to pay for alcohol or soda. It is just a large added expense when we can just do filtered water for much cheaper costs. Well, when family and friends found out, they got really angry. Some didn't really care, but some are really upset about it, saying that I can just have an open bar so I don't have to pay for drinks. We could, but we would still have to pay for the bartender, and we just don't really want to bother with alcohol there. Or we should at least have soda, because how can we expect everyone to drink only water? The kids will be upset. The wedding will be boring. That this is not how weddings work, etc. So, am I the a-hole? I didn't think this would be the problem. It's only water. I mean, don't most people drink water every day anyway? Should we pay the extra to have soda to make the family happy? So it's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot.
I wonder if we will have the same opinion on this, actually. I wonder.
Well, okay. So to preface this, I don't really drink. I'll drink if it's like pina colada, like a fruity drink, whatever. I'll drink it for, I guess, depending on the occasion, but I'm not really seeking it. I'm not like a big drinker.
Right. Neither am I. I only drink like socially, and by that I mean like not really. Maybe like on a holiday, like a Christmas family gathering or at a friend's wedding. But I mean, I also just stick to like the fruity stuff. I'm totally okay with juices and soda. Like I don't even drink soda too much either. So I get it. I kind of get where OP is coming from.
I hear a but coming.
But just water though? I think at least soda.
Well, it's not even like bottled water. It's just filtered water.
Yeah.
So tap water.
Oh.
At a wedding. Like, not that I have anything against tap water. But...
tap water? Like, can you put a little mint leaf in the cup and like some
ice? Find ways to help OP like make it
like
better.
Can you make it a little bit? I don't know, because it's your wedding and you don't want that to be the thing that people remember it by. Like, oh yeah, they only had water. And I know. Okay, so I'm also planning a wedding. And we had to discuss this because neither me or my fiance really drink. But I have family members that do enjoy their drink, especially at an occasion like a wedding. And especially since ours is going to be around the holidays. So, my fiance was on board with no bar. But I was on board with an open bar, and not just an open bar, but a premium open bar, because it's our wedding, and it also includes like mix of juices and sodas. It's not just alcohol. You don't have to get alcohol, but it's just like it adds a little more fun to it. And I just know that like my guests, I think about my guests a lot. So like, my older relatives who do enjoy their drinks, like I just want them to all have a good time. If I were to only do water, I don't know. Like if you're not going to do alcohol, at least soda. I think at least soda. And soda's not even expensive.
So question about that. You mentioned kind of the open bar. So regular, like normally for weddings, is it the two options? It's either you have a bar and everything is like paid for by bride and groom, and then it's kind of like a free-for-all for drinks for the wedding guests. That's
open bar. Yeah.
That's open bar. And then what's the other option?
I forget what it's exactly called, but it's basically pay as you drink.
Okay.
So you can, so like while the bride and groom is not covering your drink, you still have the option to purchase it. Yeah, you just like bring your card or whatever, or put it on a tab and then pay for it. I don't drink too much, so I actually don't know the correct terms for those. But ours came with a package, like a bar package you could add on to, your whole wedding package. And then at the end of the day, like cost-wise, it was not going to be the biggest thing on our expenses. And just knowing that my guests will have a good time, like that's what mattered to me. That's also why we're adding a Sunday a Sunday
Ooh.
station so that people can get ice cream because, I don't know. It's just something nice.
Oh, you're such a thoughtful wedding planner.
It's just something nice. And so, I mean, I get if you don't drink because I don't really drink either. But come on, like tap water?
I think that's where I'm kind of, because I can agree with the sentiment. Hey, like you're not big drinkers, totally get it, and it's your wedding, so I get that part. But to only give everyone tap water, and I know weddings are expensive, right?
Right.
But they talked about how, oh well, the catering options are going to be so great. There's going to be so much food. I'm like, would it make more sense then to maybe balance it out? So maybe you don't do, as extravagantly on
Like, are
the
they
food.
gonna have a cocktail hour? Because that's drinks only. Well, I mean, like, there's, your little hors d'oeuvres, but you typically have a drink during cocktail hour with your hors d'oeuvres.
I mean, they said that they did, it will be catered, everyone have good choices of food to choose from, but only water would be provided.
I mean,
I feel like
I would have thought that came hand in hand, like good
Yeah.
food and good drinks.
Right.
Like, yeah, everyone drinks water, but like, just like a little something.
Yeah, I feel like I know it's their wedding, but I would have at least provided an option like a soda or something else, or just
Or make it
not
so that
just
they
tap
can
water.
buy it.
Yeah, make it so that they can buy it so that it
Mhm.
wouldn't be on you. Although OP here did say that the reason why they didn't do that, they didn't want to do like an open bar and all that, was because OP would still have to pay for the bartender, and we didn't really want to
Oh.
bother with alcohol. So it seems like it's a mix of they actually don't want, maybe it's they don't want
Well,
alcohol
then
at all.
ask the venue if you could bring in soda cans in bulk,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's what we did. We asked our venue if we could bring bubble tea, like a bulk order
Yeah.
of bubble tea, and keep it in
Oh.
their fridge, and they said yes.
That's
They're like,
nice.
yeah, you could put it in our fridge and then take it out. So I don't know. I mean, like, there's also other options besides soda. Like, you could any drink you want, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it just seems bizarre because it seems like, okay,
And
OP
are the guests already complaining?
the guests are already complaining.
So,
So the
like,
wedding hasn't happened yet, but the
Might
guests
as
are
well
already
just
complaining.
do it. Like, might as well just get some soda
Yeah.
at the very least.
I would say at least try and figure out a happy medium because, okay, they do have a big family. They're saying 100, 150 people, right? And, I can see that being an added expense. But then again, is that where you want to be cutting for your wedding? If money is such a big issue, is drinks where you want to be cutting?
So they have the budget for like good food
Right.
for like what 150-ish people.
Yeah.
So honestly, like the bar is not the biggest
Mm-hmm.
part of the budget. I mean, like, yeah, depending on what package you get, it's expensive, of course, but you're already shelling out. Like, I think you can move some stuff around, do some DIY for decor.
Yeah.
And
Save
then
some costs.
put that towards like, a better drink experience for your guests. I don't know if that would be the popular take.
Yeah, I don't know if our take would be very popular. I feel like it's hard to say. I feel like they are a jerk in a sense because they're forcing kind of everyone to only be on, tap water. I guess filtered water is what they explicitly said, filtered water. So that's what I'm assuming it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's to the point of, I hate to say, I feel like relatives will remember this as being like, oh, we could only drink.
I hate to
tap
say
water.
it, but it's going to be
Yeah.
all people talk about. Like, that's all they're going to remember, to be honest.
Yeah. So I feel like for this, I kind of think OP's in the wrong for not finding a compromise. Because it seems like, if you are holding an event for essentially all these people, you still have to accommodate these people, even if it's your big day.
Yeah. Because you're essentially like inviting everyone out to a dinner, really.
Yeah.
Like a dinner party. So, and you're asking them to get dressed up, to show up for your day, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to ask everyone to show up for your day dressed up and stuff, like if you already know that people are unhappy with just tap water, just like try your best to come up with a different option.
Mm-hmm.
Just try.
Yeah. So some of the comments here, top comment, I hope that in 20 years, everyone's still saying, do you remember that wedding we had?
Exactly.
Where we had to smuggle in 2 liters of Pepsi?
Oh my goodness. That's all they're going to talk about.
Someone also shared, this is worse than the potluck wedding I went to. Almost all the guests were from out of town, so, quote, what can I make in a hotel room was the theme of most of the dishes. Oh, gosh.
Can you imagine?
What? A potluck wedding. So all the guests would have to provide the food and bring in a dish.
All right, guys, we're bringing in ramen.
How would you I guess someone brings in hot water and someone brings in just the instant ramen packages?
It's a group effort.
I don't know. I feel like with weddings, it's tricky because definitely you want it to be all about you, the bride and groom. But then you are also at the same time holding a huge party for other people.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful of them as well.
Yeah. I mean, just think about like just being a wedding guest is also work, you know? Like they're taking time out to travel to you, you know, spending time to get all dressed up for you and, you know, eating the menu that you picked, right?
Yeah.
Like at the very least, just like this is not, it's not supposed to be
something other than tap water.
It's not supposed to be the hardest thing to provide at your wedding.
Yeah. And it really, is it worth the, I guess, the stress and the struggle over at that point? Water being the topic of your, you know, the stress factor of your wedding. So there's no updates on this, but majority has voted this as OP is the jerk or the a-hole.
There we go.
So we're in agreement. You can see Mango tuning in as well.
Checking out the equipment.
Mango's my cat. She's tuning in and helping us check the equipment and say hi.
She's like, you guys are recording? I want to be in it.
You can tell she likes the attention. Ooh. All right. So I feel like both our stories today were definitely full of stress and drama when it comes to weddings and dress codes and money and all of that. So a lot of interesting topics with today's podcast. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We want to hear your thoughts as well. Do you agree with our judgment? Do you have your own personal takes and stories on wedding planning when it comes to friends and families, drinks, things like that? Let us know in the comments below.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe at Honey Hearts Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye. See
Bye.
Cameo via Mango.
I was so distracted.